All right, I guess I'm live. Good evening and welcome to the new show, Scotty Rorek Talks About. That's my new show. So we'll be talking about it more. We're going live now. We'll wait for people to come in. I'm early, like I always am. But we'll be able to talk and discuss things tonight for the next hour or so. As long as the comments will go, we'll be there. So well, hopefully everything's on. I think the video looks decent enough, so we're going to go with that. We're going to live it. And we'll go from there. Okay. If you come in, I need to see the comments below. I don't know how this is all going to work tonight, but we're going to try. So I don't know if I can see who's all in the room. Probably not. I don't know. I'm just first time live. So welcome everybody. Say hi to me in the comments below. And we'll go there. So. Oh, wow. 10 people already. Holy heck. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the first one. Hi, Derek. How are you? All right, I'll answer. Where's the scariest place I've been to? I'll remember. I got to write some of this down so I remember every question. And I'll try to scroll back up. So once we get everybody on here, we'll get going at a little after 7. We'll be talking to everybody. That way you can say hi to everybody and welcome them to the show this evening. All right. All right, we'll start and get going here. It's not quite 7 yet, but we're getting there. So everybody getting on. We got 2 minutes, so we'll get going here soon. Hope everybody comes on tonight. We're on the Shadow Hunters paranormal page right now, so got a lot of great things going with our group there. So we're excited to have them. I'm talking about spirit tonight, so we won't be doing readings. So you can always book those through my business page, Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium. So we'll talk about that in a couple seconds. I should add some more. I should add a song, a dance, or something we could have talked about while we wait for everybody to get going this evening, but we're going early. I wanted to test and make sure that this works. I'm doing it off a tablet in my room and got all kinds of new technology starting up, so it's going to be kind of cool. So we're very excited. So the first of many, hopefully, here going. I don't know if do I see more comments below? All right, we got 1 more minute on the Ghostbusters clock. See? What the heck was that? There you go. That's just it. Ghostbusters. I don't even know if you can see it. My phone's so bright. All right, we're about to start. I don't want to explain everything. Look at what we got going this evening. So welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. And I think it's 7 o'clock. Nope. Gotta go by the phone. 7. It's not 7. Taking pictures now. I don't know how that's going. All right, there we go. It's 7 o'clock. Welcome to my new show, Scotty Rorek Talks About, tonight. So that's the kind of the title. So I always wanted to talk about things and discuss things and work with people on abilities and ghosts and other things. So we can talk about anything. So that's why I call it Scotty Rorek Talks About. So tonight, Scotty Rorek's talking about spirits. So that's what we're going to talk about. Spirits and ghosts. Kind of tell you the difference between them, my opinions on them, and where we go from there. So Derek in the chat room already, he asked me, he says, hey buddy, what's your scariest place you've been to? I guess let's start out with it's called Fox Hollow Farms. I guess that's what they call it now. When we went to Fox Hollow Farms, that wasn't the name at the time yet. but it's the place in Indiana where the gentleman, I guess Herb Baumeister, he was the one that owned the Save-A-Lot stores, I think. I think he had the grocery stores. I think that's the name of them. Could be wrong on that. But we were called in as one of the first paranormal groups. I was one of the first 2 or 3 mediums in. It was myself, Deb Lance, and her son, Nick Lance, that all went in. And it was kind of fun on the thing as everybody saw that they got to see the actual crime drama or TV clips of the murder case at a place before, and all the psychics, we had to stay back at the hotel, and we had kind of had dinner and coffee and just relaxed. So we didn't know what was going on at the place first, but we were called in. We were called into this place, and they wanted to know if there was any more bodies, parts, anything that was left. Well, Herb Baumeister, so you know the story, ended up killing gay men that he would pick up at the gay bar in Indianapolis. He would take them back to his farmette that he had, which was very extravagant. It was a very beautiful place. It had a pool inside the house in the basement, beautiful kitchen, and an upstairs. He never took them upstairs. It was always in the first floor below because he never wanted to combine his personal life and his other life. So he would bring guys home, and they would swim in the basement. They would, do their thing, and he would kill them. He would bury them on the property. Later in time, he had a mound of them, of bodies that he had, and lie on it and put hay over it to keep them from being seen, being understood, but Herb, as his time went on, he got more and more careless, and he didn't bury a body as deep or as perfect as he did, and somebody found it, and that's how they found him. So we went to Herb's place, and it was probably the weirdest place. So we walked into this place, and it's the first time we ever did. I was standing on the bottom of the stairs. Deb and her son Nick were on the top of the stairs. This was the walkthrough before the evening, and I saw Herb coming down the stairs. Everybody else is discussing how we're going to investigate the night, all the groups that were coming in, and what we were all going to do. But I saw Herb come down the stairs behind Nick and Deb, and I kept trying to get their attention. And then they saw and they felt that he was there, and I knew all night it was going to be quite weird. He was making his eyes at Nick, who was a very attractive young man, especially at that time. And it ended up that Nick, in the end, didn't come on the investigation that night because Herb was just, I guess, too creepy on the whole thing. So let me turn this there. That's a little bit better. I don't like my camera to work. But we saw him there. We had it was a pretty incredible walkthrough, and we knew that it was going to be quite active all night long, and we had activity all night. I did automatic writing that night. So if anyone knows automatic writing is, you let the spirit use your hand to write or make a picture. We had a very distorted picture with the eyes all dead and like cut out that I was drawing, and it was from Herb. It was really a pretty disgusting form of automatic writing that night. Got me away, and it was really pretty intense night. At the end of the night, Deb Lance and I went to discuss with the homeowners and the people at the place about the evening. And as we went through the whole evening, told her what we saw, how many bodies, how many things like this. And so we didn't know anything about the story beforehand. We knew nothing. We know nothing. So we were sitting there at the table, and one of the investigators said to the homeowners, why are these two telling you about the movie or about the TV documentary? And we said, what documentary? And then they realized we weren't there to watch it when they watched it. So a lot of the similar things that we had happened and the things we saw up on the farm and out on the farmette were exactly what happened in the case. And Herb was there all night. You could feel him. Herb's still there, and unfortunately. We actually had up to a week later, Deb and I had visions and same dreams that Herb was trying to give us all week long. We spent too long talking about and having the same visions of this guy, so we finally asked, made him leave and leave us alone to leave our dreams. Unfortunately, I know that it's still open. There's been many groups in there, many TV shows, but that's probably one of the weirdest places I've ever had from a disturbing type of thing. They actually have a serial killer that you are working in their home and you can see them, and they're working with you to try to scare the other people and the other paranormal investigators. So to me, I think that would be the scariest one, because I don't really get that afraid when I go places. I know when I go with shadow hunters and stuff, I mean, it's not like I'm afraid of spirit, because it's not like movies. It's not like Paranormal Activity. It's not like those other movies where you are harmed. You're always harmed on your reaction to the spirits. Because if you run somewhere, or one time I saw Zach hit a rake and it came up and hit him. But that's his reaction to the spirits. That's not the spirit doing it. So I always want to make sure everybody understands that when you go into, if you're going in to investigate, you're going somewhere to investigate, you need to make sure you're as calm as possible and make sure that you're protected and that you have a level of protection on you, so you're not bringing any energy into the house and you're not taking anything through you. You need to protect it. Everything we do, even when we do readings with spirit, we always make sure that we are the ones that do not combine our energies, because we can't do that. That's not the way it's supposed to be. The time we allow that energy to come through it, and we're not protected with it, is the time we get sick. So I want to make sure that we know that. So, but for those who just came in, welcome to Scotty Rorek Talks About. Tonight, Scotty Rorek's talking about spirit and talking with spirit and about spirit. So we'll be doing more and more shows right here on Shadow Hunters page. And I want to thank Nick for being here in the room tonight. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you here. What a group leader. He's probably one of the best that are around. So I thank Nick for all his hard work and everything he does for this group. I'm glad to be a part of the family. So love it. All right, so let's kind of start talking about spirit. I think in the spirit realm, and you can go ahead and ask your questions at the bottom of the screen. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'm watching those as they come up on the feed. So the one. Hi, Jenny. All right, so John asked, can you reach out to specific spirits or ghosts at the location or exact spot they died, or is it just whoever may be there willing to communicate? Yes, actually yes for both. All right, let's first of all start, so John, to talk about the difference between spirits or ghosts. The difference is ghosts, in my definition, I call spirits any soul that has crossed over. So if a soul goes all the way to the other side and we're working with them, remember that that's a spirit. So somebody that's, it's a lot of religions, a lot of people call it, they call it heaven, they call it the other side, whatever that is to you, that's what it is. So once you're over in there, that's a spirit. Spirits can come back just as much as ghosts, but ghosts don't get to go to the other side. They're always stuck here on the planet. So ghosts very similar to Ghost Whisperer, if you ever saw the TV show with Jennifer Love Hewitt. But ghosts are spirits that are stuck still in here in the earth plane, in the earth experience. They're not alive. They're not in their bodies. They are out of their bodies, but they haven't crossed over to the other side. So that's the difference. So when you hear me talking about spirits or ghosts, I talk about them in different ways. So spirits, and most of the time when I do readings, I talk with spirits. But ghosts are the ones that I go out to their homes and we investigate and try to find out why this ghost is still in where it's supposed to be. So now, so your question was, so that's the difference between spirits or ghosts. Now at a location, a lot of times there's so many spirits there, based on even the investigators or people there in the building. We went to one not too long ago, and in this investigation, I put it out on my Facebook page. The spirits actually told us about people that are outside, kids that were messing around in the neighborhood. So the ghosts, we actually called the cops, and the cops found them, and they were vandalizing. So it's kind of cool. But those were the spirits of the house. But in that same thing, the lady that we were with, that ghost or that spirit that was in the house was with them. So not only can the investigators, the people that own the place, the house, so there's usually a ton of spirits all across the realm. There's so many. And then you have to find out. And that's why it takes a while. That's why you just can't walk in and say, okay, we're done, let's go home. But it takes a while to understand what spirit is with who, what spirit is with the home, and what spirit is doing the actions that the homeowner is asking us to investigate, or that's end up scaring them or making them worried, or the noises that they hear. So once you start working with each spirit and understanding who they're attached with, then you find out why they're there and what the message is. And once you understand the message, then you're able to do a lot more with the person that you're at. So, John, does that answer your question? I don't know if that does. But you can call people in at any time. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be there, So just like, we put out here on Facebook that I was going live tonight, but however, not everybody shows up. So you can still post and ask people to come in and come see you, and they're still not going to come around. How you doing, Ray? All right, so good. Thank you, John. I'm glad I can answer that. If there's more questions, go ahead. And Nick, I know Nick from Shadowhunters is down below, kind of helping people in the chat room to ask questions. But let's go back to the spirits. So, like I said, a lot of times the reason reason people stay ghosts instead of spirits is because they hold on to some kind of earthly emotion instead of seeing the light and crossing over. So a lot of it is, some people that have been killed want revenge. Some people that were abused or die quickly. A lot of reasons. I mean, there's revenge, there's anger, there's hate, there's all these earth emotions that no spirit should continue to have, but they do. And I think one question I get in this is like, if that's the case, why are there so many spirits in jails and penitentiaries? And I think my answer is, and I know it is because that spirit there actually knows and actually feels comfortable that it's their home. Most spirits or most ghosts that are in jails were told that they were nothing, that they were evil. They were, even churches didn't believe them. Churches made them, they have to repent and see God before they could go to heaven. And a lot of them didn't. And a lot of them don't believe in God or in that form of God. So for them, when they passed over, in the situation, why would they try to go to a light when they know they're going to be condemned into a place where, they're not wanted? But the jails, they're still wanted because each jail had its own hierarchy. They had their own families, their own gangs, their own, like hierarchy. Maybe you were the top of the gang and everybody looked up to you. And so you were like the father of the gang, So there was this level of protection, or this level of you were somebody in jail. You're somebody in jail. And for them to think that they were going to go to a place where they were going to be condemned to eternal death and eternal torment, I wouldn't try it. I wouldn't want to. And that's why the jails are so haunted now, because most of them don't cross over. Most of them won't cross over because of that. And to think about that a society and people actually tell others that they're so awful that they can never, ever, ever have happiness is kind of sad, because that's not the truth. In my beliefs and in my understanding, there is no hell. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe that my God would ever create a place of torment for me because I say he's not real. That doesn't make sense. That's just like saying you're a parent and your kid does something awful and you're going to kick him out of the family forever and you're never going to love him again. No, not the case. Even if my kids did something wrong and took someone's life, I would still love them. And to have a place of this torment just doesn't make sense to me. And whenever anything in my life doesn't make sense, it's not true. You know the difference. So John asks, how do you know the difference between ghosts and spirits? John, I guess the biggest way is in feeling their intent and feeling their emotion and feeling them next to you. Because if they're coming at you from anger, frustration, these feelings of dread, or they're trying for revenge, or they're trying to scare somebody, that's a ghost. If a spirit's there and they're upset that you've done wrong and you need to change your life, and they're giving you examples how to do it, that's a spirit. Because spirit's there for us to grow, to look to them to help us in these situations where we need more than just our friends. We need our family to help us and understand where some of that pain started from in our family, like what generation it started from, where that trait was from, those type of things. And that's why readings are so beneficial, because you're able to spend time with the spirit and know where maybe why you're so frustrated in life or why you're so angry. You know where that person came from and what side of the family it came from, or you know your health issues, where your health issues come from. So those come from spirit. But if you're going into a place where you're scared or see, well, I can't say turning off the lights because my uncle does that. He's a card and he's on the other side and he's a spirit. But it's more having fun is spirits, and more being scared or afraid are ghosts. And in not all cases, but still our purpose is to try to get that ghost to understand. I mean, I worked with Fox City's paranormal team on a case, and we helped this spirit cross over. And in that crossing over, he became the spirit that he was supposed to be. He was so afraid. So there's those emotions too, where you feel stuck, or you have other ghosts keeping you stuck. So it is pretty simple to understand the difference. But it's basically talking to the spirit and working with the spirit. I know we did one at OBI, which is Old Baraboo Inn in Baraboo, Wisconsin. We did a place where we crossed the spirit over, and he knew no one on the other side. He didn't like his mom. He never knew who his dad was. And here's a spirit sticking around this old brothel and bar and road stop because he had no one to cross over to. So I introduced him to my spirit guide. And so if you ever hear me talking about Steve is my spirit guide. And so I was talking with Steve, and I said, well, why don't you show him the love that we have, and then maybe he'll understand what true love is, and he'll understand to go to the light. And by the end of the night, I don't know if Andy's in the room. I haven't seen if she's here, but if she's here, she helped me, and BC, who owns the place, they helped me help that spirit cross him over. I actually channeled out and let the kid come through, and then Steve worked with him. So I left my body, so I channeled out. So it's kind of cool. So that's really the difference between ghosts and spirits. So hopefully I answered that. Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of ghosts don't stay to help people, just so we know. It's the spirits that stay. Spirits, even though you cross to heaven, you can still come back. That's the fallacy that everybody has. They say, oh, you can't come back once you go to heaven. No, you can come back anytime you want. Your energy is able to be free. We have free will. We are able to move anywhere. We're able to do anything as spirits. And that's what's so exciting. And that's what's so sad about a ghost. And that's why I want to help as many ghosts as I can cross to be spirits, because they still can come back, but they don't have to deal with those negative emotions. They don't have to deal with that negativity in their life. And they can become free. They can become happy. They can enjoy their lives. So that's why people want to cross spirits over. It's not the fact that it's just because this spirit, this soul, is stuck, and we need to make sure it moves on, moves into the next plane, moves into the next realm. So hopefully that. Right. I mean, Jessica said that too. Yeah. She says jail spirits are institutionalized in life and afterlife because that's all they know. Right. That's all they know. But they're also known in that they have some sense of worth in jails. They have some sense of belonging, a sense of family, and sense of belief. And I think that's one of the big reasons they stay there. So. Yeah, I've helped a lot of spirits cross into the light, and I know Tim Miley and I have had even at an investigation, we had a fight about crossing a spirit that he didn't believe should cross because of the evil that he did here on earth. But to me, once you become of spirit, you become a spirit. Everything is forgiven. You are forgiven. Your hate is forgiven. You are allowed to be whole again. You are allowed to be loved, because that's what heaven is. Heaven is love. It's a place of oneness. It's a place where we're all together. It's all loving. It's unconditional love. So the things that we did here on life, our failures, our misgivings, our missed opportunities, we don't have to live with those forever. And I think that in itself is exciting because, yeah, we have to, there's a place called, some religions call it purgatory, but it's not that long. I call it life review. You spend time when you cross over and when you first pass into life review going, okay, what did I do? What did I do well? What didn't I do so well? What did I totally screw up? Ugh. And then the other point is who else other than that one person did I affect? So, if I did this to this one person, how did it affect his whole family? How did it change their lives because of what I did? So it gives us a time to reflect with that, with our choices, our beliefs, our desires of what we tried to do. But you're forgiven. The other side forgives you. The oneness, the universal awareness, God, whatever you want to call it, forgives you, and you are allowed to be. And it gives you the understanding again, and you're allowed to be that person of love again. And to me, that's super exciting. That's exactly what it's supposed to be, a place of love. And I always want everybody to understand that. That's why if you ever see my Facebook page, and I opened my new business page, Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium, where I can actually start doing readings from there, and it's got a scheduling platform, and so I've started this full time now, and I'm very excited about it. But when I look at this, and I look that we need to be of love, we should do that now. We shouldn't just wait till we get to the other side. We shouldn't wait to in death when we're not in this body, because the more people that we can help right now by showing them the love that they need, instead of like chastising somebody for their decision, why don't we give them love in their decision and help them understand, maybe they could have done it better, or if they really did it through love, they wouldn't have chose to do it that way. They would have chose to accept life and accept that decision differently. Because once we get to heaven, that's the way we always think. We think, well, let's do this because of love. Let's go back and help them because they're really struggling, and we need to help them, as a spirit would say. So, or a spirit guide. We could talk about that a little bit later. But why can't we do that now as humans because we're spirits getting a chance to live this human life, and that's pretty exciting. So why can't we be of that love right now? Why can't we look at people and say, hey, that person needs help. Let's go help them. Let's go to them now. Let's give them the love they need so that their decisions are stronger, that their decisions are truly what we're what we're looking for. And I think that in this time of I call it the 19, or if you want to COVID-19, but it's easier just to call it the 19. I know so many people call it the Corona, my Corona. So Weird Al should create that, a song, huh? My Corona, do 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 do. No, bad. Anyway, so the time in 19 is, we spend a lot of time right now is spirits with us, and it's a quieter time in the world right now. No matter what it is, and I think that to me, it's a time that spirit's coming to everybody. No different than any time before. I just want to make sure that spirit has always been coming to us. But in our quiet minds, or sitting at home, people that have never encountered spirit before are getting these vibes, these understandings that something more is there, because they're paying attention. They're not running. They have to go to work, then go to the ball club, and then do this, and then go to the bar, and then get drunk and go to sleep. But they're actually sitting home, and spirit's coming to them, and they're understanding it. So when I was a kid in the 60s and had spirit come to me, I was like, it was not the greatest time for, spirit to come through. And I was weird, and I didn't have anybody to help me at that time. That's why I want to be here to help those people right now. Because if you truly have never encountered spirit ever in your whole life, and here's the chance that all of a sudden you're laying on your couch and a spirit comes to you, how are you going to handle it? How is that going to make you feel? Because you've never felt that realization before. So it's a tough time for people, but it's a very spiritual time too, and we're going to grow into a more spiritual belief moving forward here. And I think that we need to be a part of that by being the love that we know how to be all times, and instead of being just as spirits, but being as humans and being love right now. All right, what else do we have in here? Yeah, Ray posted, once you leave your body, whether ghost or spirit, you are forgiven and should go to a place you are wanted. In my belief, ghosts don't do that. Ghosts don't. Yes, everybody is forgiven by the other side, but ghosts still stay. Ghosts still keep that emotion. They thoroughly understand that they're not going into the light, that they're going to stick here until whatever they want to get done is done. And I know I'm working with the spirit right there. We're trying to put a show together called Lily's Cry, a documentary or a movie or whatever it's going to be in its final thing. But Lily's been here for almost 300 years, 250 years. Been a long, long time. But she knows she has to cross, but she never does, because she likes what she's doing. She's in here. She understands the frustration, but she wants her story to come out. And I said, you could do the same thing if you're a spirit than a ghost, but she still won't cross over. So, but ghosts still can hold on to that grudge, and Lily holds on to that grudge. Lily holds on to the grudge of who killed her. And it's sad. It really is, because she could be coming from a place of love and telling her story on the fact that we can tell it because let's not have anybody else get into the same situations. So I think that yes, they should go into the same places, but the ghosts decide not to, because as humans and as any soul, we have our free will. And when we exercise the free will, that causes us to make some decisions that aren't great. And but that's why I go into every house and every ghost I meet, is because I know that their decision hasn't been great. But I'm not going to judge them for it. I'm going to try to have them understand why they made that choice and how they can fix it. And then let them decide. Because in the end, I can't force anything. I'm not that person. I'm not God. I'm just a man trying to help them understand their choices. Because once they choose to let that go, then the light will show up again and they'll be able to cross. It's sad. It's sad to have ghosts, because they should be spirits that are living. I still call it living because it is, because we never really die. I call it, so in the living, so the ghosts, they need to be spirits living with love, living in that place of excitement to be able to come back and help and guide our ancestors, guide people that we want to help. But a lot of times, that's why we have all the ghost shows, because there's so many spirits that are still here. Now, I know I said earlier, and I guess we can get into it, because I don't believe in hell. I don't believe that there's in essence, demons. I mean, to me, Herb Baumeister was probably the biggest demon I've ever met in my life. But he was a ghost. He was choosing to kill people, choosing death for his own enjoyment, for his own choice. Yeah, and Ray put in that there's way too many ghosts. Yeah, there are way too many ghosts, and that is a shame. And what is more of a shame is ghost hunting groups that want to claim a ghost, that this is my building and this is our ghost and you can't talk to our ghost. Well, maybe you should help that ghost. Maybe you should help them understand what's going on. In some cases, if you did it, great. And they still choose to be there, then they still choose to be there. There's nothing we can do to help that ghost. So run from anyone that says they can physically cross a ghost, because that's not the case. So my analogy of that is, okay, so everybody right now, imagine that you're standing on, you come up to a corner, you see a little old lady on the corner. The light is red, the crosswalk guy is in orange, and you can't cross the road yet. So the light turns white, and you start yelling to the lady, and you start trying to pull her. You keep going, cross, cross, cross. You got to cross the road, cross, move. You're trying to pull this old lady across the road, and she's not going. She doesn't want to go because she's standing on that corner because she's waiting for the bus. So we don't understand all the reasons why the ghosts have chosen to be ghosts. Some we do. Some we understand it's fear. Some we understand it's some basic principles, but most we don't. Why do we choose not to cross? Why do we choose to stay and live a life with that pain all the time? And to me, because time is not real either, just so we understand. So to understand, to live in this constant reliving of this evil, pain, hate, sadness, sorrow, wow, that's tough. That's really tough to think that I'm a spirit and I could stay in that for eons. And that's my whole life. That's my whole living, is to be in that. That to me is so sad, where you could be on the other side and enjoy everything. Yeah, Ray says the most of what he encounters was a member of a family who didn't want to cross. Yeah. And that's sad too, because he, as a member of a family, he could do a lot more for that family, help them a lot more, see more, understand more of what's going to happen in the future if he becomes a spirit and not a ghost. And to me, that's exciting when we can do it. And sometimes they won't cross. It happens, and it's not that you failed. It's not that you didn't try, but if you've given them all the reasons why they should be, and understand their thoughts and why they are, and they still don't believe you, then they still don't believe you. Because I know I've been in Ohio at the penitentiary up there, and they don't want to go. They're not going. And I've had people that said, "Oh yeah, I went there and we got rid of a lot of ghosts." No, they might just tell you that to say goodbye. Just get on my face, go for a while. But no, that's not the, we're not in that control. A ghost is in their own life, their own control. Spirits in their own. And that's the one thing that the universe gives us, the oneness gives us, is the fact that we have the free will. So to me, that's super exciting. So, all right, so talking about crossing ghosts and spirits, we've talked about the most scariest one I've been in, and it wasn't scary, it was just the feeling of the evil, and the crap that he brought with. That was probably what the spookiest or scariest thing I've ever encountered. If there's any more questions, go ahead and ask. Tonight it's my first episode of Scotty Rorek Talks About, because I'm just going to talk about things. So tonight I'm talking about spirits. One night could be about ghost hunting. One night it could be about Nick with from Shadow Hunters. We just talk all night about Nick. Got a lot of stories about him. So you could do the difference. Oh, hi Sharon, how are you? Welcome. So Sharon says to me, if you're not reading the chat room or you're reading this after, Sharon's asking, explain poltergeists. Okay. Now, everything tonight is Scotty Talks About. So, Scotty talks about, so tonight Scotty's going to talk about poltergeists. In my opinion, poltergeist is the German word noisy ghost. Okay, so it breaks down, the transition breaks down to noisy ghosts. To me, mostly, the most I believe right now, what a poltergeist is I believe it's energy, and I don't really believe it's a ghost or a spirit. I believe it's energy. I believe it's the manifestation of energy, especially in young, preteen or prepubescent, if I could say that word, kids. Because a lot of times that when we see poltergeists, they move things, they shut doors, they open doors, they shake things. That's just them focusing their energy onto certain things. So to me, that's what a poltergeist is. A poltergeist is, and we have to help that person that's having it. And it happens more in females, younger females, than it does younger males. But I can't say that it's only female. That's not the case. But the majority of it is females. And but it's people that are very good at sensing energy, working with energy, and being able to control that energy to do what they want. They get very frustrated in their day. They get very mad. They get very upset at a boyfriend or something, and they just go, and the energy happens. Or my lights turn off, or lights break, or glass shatters, or people get upset. To me, that is what poltergeist is to me. I know there's other ghosts that can do things like that, but I think the TV show and the movie Poltergeist kind of took it into the wrong direction. I understand their thoughts of it, but I don't believe that. I believe it's the release of excess energy in a person that doesn't know how to control the energy that they have or they have had built up into them. Okay, Sharon, does that answer your question? Hi, Millie. Nice to meet you. And now Nick's laughing about him as the topic of maybe Scotty talks about Nick. Okay, Millie says the evil people on earth who die and don't cross, I feel are cowards. I pray sometimes to meet their maker, and justice is done. Cowards is probably a good way to put it, but I don't necessarily believe that they're all evil. I don't believe that. I believe that there's unfinished business. I believe that we all need to know what the other side is. We all need to cross over so that we can be forgiven and allowed to be of love again, and understanding, and know what we did right and what we did wrong. So Millie, that would be what I call life review. But I don't necessarily believe. I believe some are cowards. I really do, because they're afraid. They're afraid to be judged. They're afraid of the understanding. And it's not like they're going to a hell, but that's unfortunately what modern religion teaches. And so people get in that mindset. Well, if I can't be perfect, then F it. I'll just do whatever I want. And that's not it either. We want to be of love. We want to be of unconditional love, because that's truly what heaven is, if that's your term for the other side. But if you think of heaven as this place of love, then you have to be that. You have to understand that love. You have to be of, have to be of love, and we have to pray for those souls. So Millie, I would pray for those souls, and allow them to understand that there is more to this universe and more that we have to be, and it's more they can do even as spirits. Than they can do as ghosts. They actually have a better chance to work and help if they become a spirit than they are a ghost, because a ghost just causes us problems, because they shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be next to us. What else do we have in here? Sharon, it does. Hi, Robin. There's my BFF. She's in there. How are you doing? Millie, it's awesome again. Hi, Kathy. She says spirit guides are those who have passed. Spirit guides we have a couple spirit guides that all right, let's talk about spirit guide. A spirit guide, and you have decided before you come to life, because we all have one main one. Our spirit guide and us have decided before we come that this person is going to be there for us, and it's going to be the one that guides us through our entire life. Some religions call them guardian angels. Some call it spirit guides. I call it spirit guides. So my spirit guide's name is Steve. Steve and I were in a relationship in the 20s together in Greece. I was his wife. He was my husband, and we loved each other so much that in this time around he decided to stay on the other side and still protect me. So I always feel that love from him every day and all the time, especially when I'm doing my work. He's there to guide, and he's there to protect me. He's there to watch over me. When I channel and leave my body, he's the one that makes sure I can come back in, and the other spirits don't take over or mess around when they're in. So this soul is by far my closest person I've ever known, ever. I mean, he knows me inside and out. All puns intended. He knows you all. So when he's able to talk that way and be with us, so we all have that one that's with us from the beginning. And he was here before I jumped into the womb to grow, and then he'll be here and I'll be with him after I decompose. He's here from the beginning till the end. Then we have a bunch of other spirit guides that come in throughout our lives. These are sometimes our family members that have passed will come in and spend some time with us, helping us understand certain things in life. It'll come in and guide us into different things. It'll show us. I once had a monk come into my life to teach me patience and understanding and not being so loud. He kept telling me that I don't need to be loud to be heard. And that's probably one of the greatest things I've learned in my life is you don't have to be loud to be heard. But they come in and out. They come in and out of our lives, and they help us in different aspects of our lives. So those can be family members that have crossed. Those can be friends that have crossed. Those can be neighbors. Those could be anybody. Or people that understand you and understand what you're going in and want to help you out in that situation. So to me, that's totally crazy. That's totally awesome that they are there. So spirit guides are with us at all times. I do have, I have a relative that doesn't believe in exactly what I do. And that's okay. I understand it. They come from a very religious type of standpoint. But one night they were driving and it was really foggy, and they heard someone yell stop, and they actually did. And through the red light came a car screaming through and would have hit them if they didn't do it. And this person's very close to us. And they told us about it, and I said, ta-da! I said, Spirit got you. And I don't know if it changed their lives. I don't know if it changed their thing, but they listened. They actually listened to Spirit. And Spirit guided them through it and allowed them to be alive, allow them to still be with us. So that's pretty exciting. So listening in the spirit is probably the greatest. So, all right. So hi, Jessica. Hey, Jessica says, have you ever had a random spirit come to you for help to get a message to a loved one, but you're unable to find that loved one? No, not I wasn't able to find that loved one. So I'll give you an example. So we were up in I'm from Wisconsin. I'm in Madison. We go up to a place called Wisconsin Dells that has a huge water park and theme park all in built one, and then they have all the indoor ones too. I think we were at Mount Olympus. It's an awesome place. So Wisconsin Dells is the water park capital of the world. Has more water parks than Florida. So exciting. Anyway, so we were there one day. We're waiting for getting on the go-karts with my kids, and the spirit keeps coming up to me and go, hey, you need to talk to my cousin there. I said, no. They go, yeah, you got to tell my cousin this message. I go, no, because I'm not one that will jump into somebody's life unless they're asking for it, or unless it's totally an emergency. This was an emergency, and I didn't know where this gentleman was in his healing. I didn't know if he liked this relative. I didn't know anything about the situation, and I wasn't just going to walk up to somebody and say, hey, your cousin Sean's here and he wants to tell you. I don't do that. And I understand that the TV shows that do that are pretty real in the fact, but you still have to sign a waiver that you're going to be read on camera. So in real life, it's a little bit different, walking up to somebody. And I didn't know this guy was like 3 times as big as me. I don't know if I was going to get punched in the face or not either. So I don't do that. I just don't. But I had to tell the spirit that if you were able to get him to come to me for a reading or ask me or start talking to me, that I might. But the guy never did. So I can't say that, I've had readings where people have wanted their loved ones to come through, but they don't. And I can't necessarily make them come around either. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, I said I can't necessarily force somebody to be here for me to talk to them. I will bring the spirits to come through, and I will tell you the message exactly the way they give it to me. I won't do it any other way. So Millie, I see a bunch of question marks from Millie. How do you learn? Okay, so Millie's question here. So, how do you learn who your spirit guide is? The best way to learn is not by asking a medium, because I don't tell people they're spirit guides. Because to me, that's your closest relationship, and except for a spouse. So I won't give that to you. That's got to be earned. The best way to earn it is through meditation. By far, I think that's probably the biggest thing that anyone that's watching this tonight or after, the biggest thing that you can do to become way more spiritual and understand your gifts, understand your life, is to be more aligned, more straightened, to be centered, and to do that is to meditate. Meditation by far allows you to get into a state of what I call nothingness. So when you meditate, I guess a couple of the points I want you to do is if you get thoughts, don't think that you failed. And you don't have to meditate for hours. You don't have to. You can spend your time just 5 minutes a day. I teach a class called 5-Minute Meditation. It's super simple, but it shows you how to align yourself in only 5 minutes. To get yourself set up for the day with protection, at the night taking off all the energy, so you are more guided to sleep. But meditation is it, because you get into a space, you get into that mindset where it's like just right before you fall asleep or right as you're waking up. It's that in between, and it's your mind is at its even rest, but it's still thinking, and that's when spirit guides come through. That's when all spirits can come through to us and talk. But that's what you have to learn to be a soul, or an investigator, or a medium, or a psychic. You have to learn how to tap into that quietness and let spirit come through to you. Because that's the way they talk, because we have to raise our energy to a point. They have to lower their energy to a point so we can communicate together. But meditation is the easiest way to find your spirit guide. I don't like going to other people for that, so if you do, that's fine, and if they give it to you, that's fine. But the relationship has to be built between you and them. They've always been there. They will always be there. It depends if you want to use them or not, or if you want to ask for their help. And even if you get the information from somebody, it's still going to be time for you to build and discuss and understand that person, just as well as you would, just like in any other relationship that you would have. So, hi Tom, how are you? Anna's there. Hi John, how are you? All right, thanks, Nick. If you are looking for readings, you can. I have my Facebook business page, Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium. On there's my date and times that I'm available for readings. I will block times out if I'm not available, if I'm doing events or other things. So just watch for the times to change. I will always try to send back. I will try to send back an email back just confirming the time and date. My times on that page are Central Daylight Time, so if you're Eastern, I already had one mix up already this week, so that's why I'm always going to try to send an email back and confirming our times that it's based off of Central Daylight Time. But Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium, Scotty Rorek Facebook, ScottyRorek.com, Scotty Rorek on Instagram. So a bunch of Scotty Roreks out there. Just Google me and find me. You'll be able to find it. So any more questions? Because we got a few more minutes yet. I was going to talk about an hour tonight. Oh, 8 minutes. Oh. Wow, that went fast. I was just like, what am I going to talk about tonight? I'm like, hey, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Guess I kept jabbering all night long. So, very awesome to have everybody here. So make sure you keep on Shadow Hunter's page, which we're on here watching tonight. What a great group. What a great group of people. Nick's a wonderful leader. Sharon, who asked the question before, is a member. She also runs Psychics Unite. Oh, I should promote Psychics Unite too. I'm a member of, my wife created a group called Psychics Unite. We're opening a new one in southeast Indiana. So we're very excited to go down to that area. But we are a group that is there to help people with abilities, people without abilities, kind of put us all together, kind of like AARP for psychics, or AA for psychics, one of the two. I like AARP better. But we can give psychics and people with abilities and people in the ghost hunting realm and that thing a voice, a place where we can all commune and find like-minded people, like us all. So I'm excited about that. I'm very excited to be a part of that. So we have a lot of Zoom meetings right now, so you can come in and enjoy one of our meetings. Last few nights we were talking about coronavirus, headaches, and energy. So we kind of have different topics on our Zoom meetings every night. So now they're going to be every Monday night, 6:30. Check my Facebook page or the business page, and you'll get the Zoom link on there. And then hit me up personally if you're not a member of a Psychics Unite group. And the members in their group pages, they get the passwords. But if you're not and you want to still come, feel free to just email me or text me, or IM, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But anyway, just put it in there. I'll give you the password and you can come join us. So we're excited. So, Tom, what do you suggest for anxiety during the quarantine? Good. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where I thought I was going to be talking about tonight. I didn't even get to it. The anxiety through quarantine is actually spirit coming to us. You are starting to feel the oneness of the world, and because we don't feel it so often, we don't have that same energy that keeps coming to us all the time because we're so busy with everything else. We don't necessarily know what that anxiety is. But that anxiety is spirit coming to us. And they're trying to keep us calm, but some people take it as anxiety. Some people take it as love. I'm happy to have it. I'm happy to have so many people's energies coming to me because then I can help try to calm it and understand it. But this world needs to become one. This world needs to become of spirit again, of love, like I was talking about before. So take it. Meditate if you need to, if it's too strong for you. But you need to learn that energy has always been there and always will be there. It's not going away. It's just the fact that you're picking up on it now. And that's cool. That's cool. We need to pick up on that energy. We need to know that we're connected with everybody and everybody's connected with everybody and we're all one. And to me, that's exciting. So instead of looking at it as anxiety, look at it as the love. Look at it as something that that we need in our life. That this anxiety is really not anxiety. It's just we need to be in our spiritual mind. We need to be spiritual, and if we get into that right now, I think we can get through this time a lot easier because everybody's going through it. So let's be one together. Let's give love to each person. Let's send love to everybody that we feel. So that's why I post a lot of that on my page. I post a lot of things about love because I think that that's stronger than anything else we need in our lives right now. So something that we should always be giving to everybody is love. Cool. What else? I gave my Facebook page. I got it. We're almost getting up time. We got about 3 minutes. Got time for one more question if we can do it. If not, we'll sign off here for my first Scotty Rorek Talks About. That's my new show. So be on here. So tonight was Scotty Rorek Talks About Spirits, but we can talk about a lot of different things coming up. So if you have an idea for what you want me to talk about or what you want me to see discussed, please feel free to email me. Scott Rorek at yahoo.com. So that's my email address, or scottyrorek.com, which I have 2 pages yet to build. Otherwise, I revamp my webpage. Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium Business page on Facebook. If you're not a member, like it there. Or Scotty Rorek on Facebook. I have 2 Scotty Roreks, the one. So join one of the other ones. So yeah, it is. It is a profound idea, Millie, and I want everybody to understand. Millie puts that is a real profound idea to me, the idea of oneness. But to me, that's what this universe is. That's what the other side is. That's what we all are. We all are one. We're all God. We're all creators. We're all love. We're all together in this. We're together in everything. We're together in death. We're together in life. We're together in sorrow. But when we decide that we're better than somebody else, when we decide that we can't help somebody because they didn't do enough work, no, we have to pray for that one soul. We have to pray for that one person. We have to give them love. We have to allow them to understand truly who they are. But the oneness is what the universe is and what the other side is. We're all one. We're all in this together. We're all creators. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, Shadow Hunters. Thank you, Nick, for having me here tonight. I appreciate it. Watch again. We'll probably have another one maybe next week. Or you can watch on my Scotty Rorek Psychic Medium Business page. I'll be having some talks there. But thank you, everybody, for coming tonight to watch. Thank you for having me. And I'll be around on Facebook if you guys want to talk privately or have a question for me there. So, well, everybody have a great night. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.